Hi there, it's Tiffany from Daisy Farm Crafts, and today I'm going to do a tutorial for this mixed stripe flower stitch baby blanket. I'll show you how to do this very simple shell stitch for the border. I thought that gave it just such a cute, dainty look. I've done the striping sequence pretty random, but one thing that's not random, and this is one thing I love about if you really want to do a mixed stripe blanket, the key is to keep the colors in the exact same order, just mix up the width of the stripe. So you'll see I start with the pink. This is like a nice lavender, white, dark pink. Pink, lavender, white, dark pink. Fuchsia, I think it's called. Same thing, just vary the stripe sequencing until you have the length that you need. This is really great for when you have like some scraps of yarn that you want to use up. I used 2 skeins of the white because I'm doing the border, and actually this is the end of my second skein, so I think I'll need 3 because I'm not quite done. But then I just used 1 to 2 skeins of the other colors. It just, like I said, I was using scraps. So I think if you had 2 skeins of each color, you'd have plenty. But I would even encourage you to put more stripes into your blanket. Just keep them in the same order, and I think you'll have a really cute Before we get started, I'll just show you the yarn that I used was a softy cotton. It's a 3-weight. This stitch works with any yarn. I've seen it done in bigger. It turns out great. It's just a great stitch. It's a little bit dense. Definitely a warm blanket. I used the G 4mm hook for my blanket here. But let's just get started, and I'll demonstrate to you the flower stitch. Okay, to begin this blanket and to make it any size that you would like, all you need is to chain a multiple of 3. So for this little practice swatch, let's do 24 chains. This will give us just a nice little swatch to really learn the stitch really quickly here. And I would actually really recommend that you do this first before you start the blanket. So when I did my blanket, I believe I started somewhere around 156 chains. Work 1 double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. This is how we'll get this started. And then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now what we're going to do essentially is a double crochet 5 together, but our entrance points are going to be at different spots. So your first leg will be working into the 3rd chain from the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2, yarn over, and your next 2 legs will be at the base of that double crochet that we made, and always just pull through 2. So you should have 4 loops on your hook, and then you're going to skip 2 chains and work into that 3rd chain and work 2 more legs of your double crochet 5 together. So here we go. So you've got 2 legs here, 2, here's the 5th one, and then of course this chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. So we should have 6 loops on our hook. Pull through all the loops. Okay, now let's chain 3. Now we get to start. This is a little bit easier. Just work into basically with this eye right here, the eye of the stitch. Pull through 2. That's our first leg. Now go to the chain where you last finished. And now let's skip 2 chains, work into the 3rd chain there, and work just yarning over and pull through 2 stitches so that we can do our double crochet 5 together. Yarn over, make sure you have 6 loops on your hook and pull through. And then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's work that one more time. Let's work our first leg into that first eye of the stitch, 2nd and 3rd legs of the stitch down here where we last finished, and then skip 2 chains and work over here. This becomes really relaxing and fun. It's just such an easy stitch to do once you just get into the rhythm of it. Pull through 2. Skip 2 chains, work into that 3rd chain. Yarn over and pull through all the loops. Okay, I'm going to slow this one way down here. Let's do a real slow one just so we make sure you've got it. Chain 3, yarn over, insert your hook into, I guess, the center of that stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into where that last chain that we worked into. Pull through 2. Now skip 2 chains and get your legs worked. Okay, so we have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this chain 3 counts as a stitch, so 6 stitches there, and pull through. Okay, so now we're just going to work right up to that last chain, and I will show you how to turn. So just pulling through. Now what we're going to do to begin the next row is chain 3, work 1 double crochet still into that eye right there. Now chain 3 again. This is how we're going to start the next row. And now our chain 3 is already worked up for us. So you can make a decision. Sometimes it was just easier to work into the top of that last double crochet right there. Or you can work into the chain. I found it really doesn't matter. Whatever you decide to do, just do it consistently. So there's our first leg. Come down here, work 2 stitches right in that last chain that we worked into from the previous row. And now you'll just skip all the way over, find the eye, I'd like to call it, of the stitch. You'll see it makes right at the center. And you're off and running again. 1, 2, 3. Now at the end of this row, I'll show you how I pulled through for new color. I want to add in a change colors at the end of this row. So I'm going to still work the stitch by chaining 3, work one leg into the eye, work the next two down there in that center part of the flower. And now this, we will work into the top of the turning chain for our last stitch, our last two legs. So go ahead and work right up to the turning chain. Now, instead of pulling through with the same color, this is where you're going to want to switch color. Is go ahead and just place the new color over your hook and pull through. So it's at that step that you want to, because the next chain 3 is actually, you know, part of the next row. So just chain 3. Don't forget to do your double crochet into the eye. And then chain 3 again. Change your work, and you can kind of see the cute little flower that it created there. Love it. And let's begin again. First leg, right here into the end. I'll work 2 legs, and then back here over here to the eye. So it really works up quite quickly when you get going. And that's about it. That is all I did. And like I said about the color changes, I just kept them really random, but I did keep the orders of the color. And I think that that really gave the blanket a good cohesive look, even though I was doing all these random stripes. So once you're finished, you'll weave in all the ends. And so I worked 2 rounds of single crochet, all going in the same direction. I don't worry about joining or anything when I do that. I just chain, and I just tried to work as evenly as possible for the single crochets. So I worked, you'll see, approximately still 3 single crochets per stitch here, and on the side as well. On the side, I just, you know, this is a tough one to say, to give you a real good guidance, but just make sure you get plenty of stitches here on the side of the blanket. 2 rounds of single crochet, 3 single crochets in each corner stitch. And then when you get to this 3rd round, you just start with a slip stitch, and I've been skipping 1 stitch, and I work 5 double crochets, I skip a stitch and work a slip stitch into the next one, skip 1 and work 5 double crochets. And when I get to the corners, if they're too spread apart, I'll just skip skipping a stitch, and I'll just work the 5 double crochets, slip stitch into the next corner stitch. You just want to make sure that you have enough double crochets to get you around the corner to make it look good. Slip stitch. Okay, so I'll show you really the start here of what I was saying is that, so, you know, I just worked my 3 single crochets for the corner, and then I slip stitched, and I just started working the 5 double crochets, skipped, slip stitch, skipped, 5 double crochets. And I like how it just is a nice little solid little shell stitch for the border. So I know this was just a quick tutorial, but you know, for such a complicated looking stitch, it's really quite easy. That's what I love about this stitch. So I hope you enjoy making this blanket. I really want to encourage you to just do your own version of the mixed stripes. Just keep the colors in the same order, whatever colors that you choose. Okay, well, thank you so much for stopping by. We will see you next time.